From there we'll go to the steering shaft up here. No free play in the U-joints, greased properly, and the boot or the seal on top is complete. So there's no fumes going inside the cab. Steering box, no leaks, no leaky hoses, loose or missing bolts. And all those bars you see there make up the steering linkage. The linkage is greased properly. All castle nuts are tight. They have cotter pins inside. Nothing is cracked or broken. From there we'll go to the front tire here. It needs to have at least 4/32 of an inch in depth. The tire pressure is checked with the heavy duty pressure gauge, and it should be up to manufacturer's recommended PSI. No recaps in the front. It's wearing evenly. No chunks are missing. On the sidewall here, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The rim, there's no illegal welds, cracked or broken. The valve stem's not loose, rubbing, or leaking air. All lug nuts are present, and they have no rust around them. Rust would indicate either a loose lug nut or a broken lug nut. The hub seal in the center, there's no loose or missing bolts, no leaks. And to check the level on that, you take off the cap in the center, check for the oil level, and add oil if needed. Through the hole there in the drums, you can see the brake, or the rims, you can see the brake drums. On that, we're gonna say that there's no discoloration from overheating. It's not cracked, broken. There's no grease or oil inside the drums. Inside the drums is the brake pads. Now those should be at least 1/4 of an inch in thickness. Not cracked or broken. No grease or oil. From there, we'll go to the brake hoses. Here, all fittings are tight, no air leak. This guy here is the brake chamber. No leaks, loose bolts, and this is the slack adjuster. You can pull on it and check the slack adjuster push rod free play, and it's not to exceed 1 inch. Cotter pins are in and it's greased properly. Shocks, they're not leaking. No loose or missing bolts. Rubber bushings are in place, they're not worn or missing. The leaf springs are all there, they're not shifted or broken. U-bolts are tight. And there's a front and a rear spring mount, which are not cracked or broken. There's no loose or missing bolts. From there, we keep going. Turn signal light here, working properly. My door opens and closes. The weather stripping here is complete, no damage to it. Door hinges, not loose, cracked, broken. The door latches properly. Alright. Side view mirrors, again adjusted to the driver's view, not cracked, not broke, no loose or missing bolts. My steps, they're not loose or missing any bolts, securely on there. The fuel tank here has no dents, cracks, or leaks. There is a seal on the inside. It is tight, and as you can see, there is no leaks. The straps are insulated to prevent metal on metal contact. This here is the DEF fuel tank. Again, the cap has a seal. It's tight. There's no leaks. It's mounted secure, not cracked or broken. We look underneath, checking for any leaks. Okay. From there, we'll go to the drive shaft, right here. There's no broken welds, loose or missing bolts. The U-joints are greased properly, and there should be no free play in them. Catwalk is mounted secure to the frame. This right here is my battery box, mounted secure to the frame. I also check the batteries, make sure they're not leaking, corroded. There's no loose connections, frayed connections, and they should have proper fluid levels at all times. Tractor frame, no illegal welds, not cracked, and no loose or missing bolts. The green line going to the trailer here is the electrical. You make sure it's latched. There's no exposed wires, not rubbing anywhere. And that it's also latched on the trailer here. Secure. The other two are airlines. You make sure the fittings are tight. They're not loose, they're not leaking air. The hoses are not dry rotted or damaged. You go to the glad hands here. Make sure they have the seals inside. It's not loose or leaking any air. From there, we'll go to the coupling or the fifth wheel. Here we have the apron, which is not cracked or broken, and there's no broken welds. You can see it's welded there. The fifth wheel plate is greased properly, and there should be no gap between the apron and fifth wheel. Release arm is locked in all the way. This here's the platform. No broken welds, no loose or missing mounting bolts, and there is no cracks anywhere on the metal. The back side of the fifth wheel is where we check the kingpin and lockjaw. So the ones that haven't seen that, you need to get in there and look. All the way inside there, and look directly inside the fifth wheel. That would be the kingpin and lockjaw.
That one.
Not cracked, not broken. Always make sure that the lockjaw is completely locked around the kingpin.
This one right here. And then lock. Yeah, and then the kingpin is.
And then the side pins over here. Make sure the cotter pins are in. They're not missing.
I eat in the morning huevitos.
No, le digo que desayuno en la mañana huevitos. ¿Puedo comer?
All right. Okay. That was the coupling. Now on the second axle, on a dual set of tires, you gotta make sure that they're the same size and type and same type of tire, either bias or radials, and not to be mixed.
Pregunta, ¿quiere decir no bias and radials? No, no bias and radials.
Not mixed. Either one or the other. 430 seconds. All right, good. You guys are listening. Yeah. 230 seconds is minimum tap. Tire pressure, again, you check with the heavy duty gauge, and it should be up to manufacturer's recommended PSI. Tires are not rubbing together. There's nothing stuck in between them. The sidewalls are not damaged. There's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The rim, no illegal welding, bent or broken. Valve stems are not leaking, loose or rubbing. All lug nuts are present. There should be no rust around them, which would indicate looseness or a broken lug nut. Braking systems. The brake drum has no heat damage, no grease or oil, nothing cracked or broken. Brake pads, quarter of an inch in thickness, not cracked or broke, no grease or oil. Brake hoses, they're not leaking. All fittings are tight. Chambers are not leaking, no loose bolts. And slack adjusters, no more than 2 inches in free play. To check that, in case they ask, you would chock the wheels, release the brakes, get in there and pull on the slack adjuster to see the push rod travel. No more than 2 inches. There's a spring mount in the front here. No loose bolts, no cracks. There's an airbag in the rear, there's no leaks or loose bolts. The leaf springs themselves are tied with the U-bolts. And there's a shock in there that we can't see. It's right behind the tires. So we gotta say the bushings are in, they're not worn, there's no loose or missing bolts.
Shock.
And the shock is not leaking. debris or any unsecured cargo or any loose boards. In the front of the trailer, let's check for any cracks, broken welds, that the cargo hooks are welded properly. Lights and reflectors to the front of the trailer should be amber in color, indicating the front of the trailer. The whole side here, no cracks. Reflector tapes unsecured. We got strap tie down. Well that is working. We have cross members underneath.
Cross members.
Screws are all tight in place. My landing gear.
Landing gear.
The crank handle's on the other side. We can see that it's stowed away properly. There's no loose bolts on that. There's no broken welds anywhere on the landing gear. Loose or missing bolts. The landing pads are secured, welded secured, no debris. Always make sure that the landing gear is fully raised before you drive anywhere. Safety key. This right here is the trailer frame. No cracks, no broken welds. It's not bent.
Yeah.
Strap tie down. Now here you guys do the same thing. Same exact thing. 230 seconds, tire pressure, radial bias, not rubbing together, nothing stuck in between. Sidewall, no abrasions, bulges or cuts. Same on the rim, lug nuts, valve stems, hub seals. And then you go to the inside for the 5 brake parts. What are the 5 brake parts?
Brake chamber, brake hoses, lock adjuster, brake drum, brake pads.
Good. How much free play on the slack adjusters here?
2 inches, no more 2 inches plate.
And the brake pad thickness?
1 quarter
Okay.
thickness.
Quarter inch.
Quarter inches. Quarter inches.
Who can tell me the difference on the suspension from the others? What's the difference?
These ones are welded.
What is?
Huh?
What's welded?
The spring mount. The spring mounts.
Okay.
Mounts.
Anything else?
The torque arm
Show me the torque arm.
will be this.
See what it says. I want to see what it says right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Good. Don't forget the differences, but always remember you have to do complete inspections on each axle unless they tell you not to.
Okay.
Same on these. No more than 8 inches off the ground. No loose or missing bolts, not dragging. That goes for the trailer flaps and the tractor splash guards. Pinto hook, bolted, secured, working. The glad hands are not leaking any air. There's cargo hooks which are welded and working. All lights work, red in color. DOT reflected tapes unsecured. Well, that section right there should be replaced. On the other side, and we're gonna say that we would do the same inspection on this side, including the toolbox there. That is mounted secured to the frame, not cracked, broke, or any damage to it. And
Locked
that's the walk
properly.
around. That was it.